Hello, my name is Neil Ticktin. I'm the editor-in-chief and publisher of MacTech Magazine. We're here doing interviews for TUAW and MacTech Magazine of developers at the Worldwide Developer Conference 2011 here up in San Francisco. Sitting with us and joining us now is Ilene Jones from KittyCode. Hello, Ilene. Glad to have you along here.
Thank you.
Why don't you start with telling us a little bit about yourself and what KittyCode does, and give us a little bit of background.
I'm the CEO of KittyCode.
Okay.
And what we do, we actually have two different phases of our company. One of them is weather, and the other one is games.
Okay.
Weather, we do, we write an application called Hurricane HD,
okay,
as well as Hurricane. Okay. Hurricane HD is specifically for the iPad,
okay,
and Hurricane is for the iPod Touch and the iPhone.
Right.
And obviously you can also work on the iPad if you choose.
Sure.
For games, we have a game called Traveler's Quest, okay, and that's a GPS game that allows you to bury and dig treasures anywhere you want.
Cool.
And it's all virtual, so it's kind of like geocaching without having to get the ants in the dirt and trying to find where that particular geocache is.
So it's virtual geocaching.
It's virtual geocaching.
Okay. So you don't have to go to the different places.
No, you still have to
go. Oh, okay.
You still have to go, and you have to be within a certain range of where that treasure is.
Yes.
But the treasure is saved on your device, so it's not something that you physically pick up.
Okay, so it's geocaching with the digging.
Exactly.
There you go. Okay.
There you
So, did you get a chance to see the keynote this week in the announcement?
Did.
Okay. And what did you think of the announcements? First of all, just in general, like what's your opinion of the announcements? What you like? What you didn't like?
There are so many things that I saw in the keynote that I thought, wow, I can use that. I can use this. Mm-hmm. The enhancements to the core location, I was just in one of those classes today, they're going to be huge for us.
Right.
There's all the enhancements for Game Center. We don't have profiles kind of sort of right now, and we were kind of hoping that the Game Center would handle that for us.
Right.
And they've taken another step in that direction,
great,
which is great for us. So those are the kind of things that we're looking at. And
in general, the announcements that Apple made about Lion and iOS 5 and iCloud, do you see them as being positive for the community?
Absolutely. Absolutely. They're, the whole gamut is really very positive for us.
Sure.
Just because those enhancements, there are things that we're looking at in our future,
right,
that they kind of handled some of the problems we were looking at. And so now we might be able to turn the game around a little bit faster for the next iteration because, they've done those little steps for us.
So do you feel that one of the biggest impacts for you on this, from this WWDC is not so much even the consumer-facing angles of how Lion's going to work or iOS 5 is going to work or iCloud and the way that most people might use it for calendar or contacts or what they're doing on their iOS devices, but really more that Apple has really broadened the APIs for you, that they've really changed the application programming interfaces so that you as a developer will be able to get that much more done that much more quickly
exactly
than before, and that to you is the biggest thing here. Yeah,
absolutely. And iCloud actually solves one of the problems that we have with our game, simply because it's not easy to upgrade users from one device to another device because your device for our game is the game is connected to it.
Right.
So your player is on that device and that's it, because your device is your treasure detector.
Right.
So when you use a different device, we don't. It
allows for confusion in there, and it doesn't work because you're deploying to just one device at a time.
Yeah, and that's going to continue to be the same, but the difference is that when a user goes in and gets a new phone from Apple, they'll be able to get all of their information straight from the cloud,
right,
instead of having to go home, sync, and then maybe everything just
sure,
works.
Sure.
Instead, they'll be able to just get everything and it'll just work, and they can stay in the Apple Store if they choose and do a little bit of treasure hunting right there.
Awesome, awesome.
So it's going to be really great.
Great. Well, obviously, a lot of the API changes and whatnot, those are under NDA from the event, so we can't talk a lot about those specifically at this point. But is there anything else that you want to talk about as far as what KittyCode's doing or the weather app? I mean, does a weather app work with iCloud?
It doesn't
are you going to have
really
a weather
touch the
forecast?
cloud.
Are you going to have a weather forecast for the iCloud? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, not so much.
Okay,
no,
get the bad
it's just
joke in there. What can I tell you?
It's just going to continue to track hurricanes,
Yep.
and it's really great for anybody that's along the coast or has interest. One of the biggest updates that we made on June 1st for that update was worldwide tracking.
Mm-hmm.
So we're the only app that tracks worldwide.
Okay.
All tropical storms, cyclones, hurricanes, typhoons, everything.
Right.
So it's really big for us. It was a great update.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, it's been a pleasure having you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.
My name is Neil Ticktin. I'm the editor-in-chief and publisher of MacTech Magazine, and we're doing the MacTech and TUAW interviews of developers at WWDC 2011.